Welcome to another chapter, to another segment of the Love and Respect Experience reading. The author of the book I'm reading from is Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. How life been treating you? For me, lately I've been getting a lot of stress off the brain. I've been getting a lot of things I want to say out of my mind, out of my heart. I've been taking a break from this. I've been slowly progressing back into my readings. Right now, we're at chapter 30, and hopefully you understood about patience, tolerance, things that are irritating that I spoke of in chapter 29. I hope you woke this morning with your spouse in mind. I hope you woke thinking of how to make your spouse's day better. Although this is a reading, explanation of how I ended up divorced, it don't mean it's not a helpful tool to keep your marriage in place, to keep your marriage fruitful. So keep viewing, keep sharing, keep liking, keep spreading the word. Once again, I am the Nasty Pastor. You can find a lot of these readings, the full readings, on my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries. There are playlists. Go over there, like, share, comment on some things you don't understand, or just comment on some things you understand. And let's get into chapter 30. And the title of chapter 30 is Impact Others with Love and Respect. Impact. You know what an impact is? You get what an impact, when you impact something. You get what that is? It's abundantly. You got what I'm saying? It's abundant. You feel me? And the verse comes from 1 Corinthians 12:6. God works in different ways, but it is the same God who does the work in all of us. I was always told there's only one creator. One creator, and the way I'm going to say this, we started off with 7 continents. We at 9 continents now. There's one creator, but you got 7 to 9 entities God, the creator, has personally touched and moved in to do the will of the creator. Now, don't think less of yourself, because I don't. We all do the will of the creator, but there's some entities, some souls that walk this earth that personal relationship with whom we pray to is so strong that that person, that soul, is the creator's go-to to speak, to forge, to explain it. So let's go and get into chapter 30. Having come this far with these devotionals, perhaps it is time to take stock of how love and respect is impacting your marriage. Which of the following describes you right now? We struggle with the crazy cycle, but we are hanging in there. We are making progress, but we have a way to go. We don't have it at all wired yet, but we are enthused. This stuff works. See, knowing that we struggle with the crazy cycle means that, you know what I mean, we won't gonna grow up. Because we did struggle with that. And we didn't grow up, you know what I mean, you know, to keep being irritable, to keep lashing out. You ain't grown. You haven't learned anything. And it's easy for someone to pull your strings. So I had to learn to get out the crazy cycle. I had to learn to see the crazy cycle pulling me in so I can pull myself out. Was we making progress? We weren't making progress. I feel I was making progress. You feel me? I can't make another human being do nothing. I can't. I really can't. Even with a loaded gun to a person's head, you can't make them do nothing. You can't make them do nothing at all. In that moment, if you're telling me because you got that gun, I'm going to let you rob me, I'm going to make you a liar. You feel me? You get me? Like, I didn't make you pull that trigger if I refused to give you my money. You did that on your own. You understand me? You feel me? No matter how you rate your marriage at the moment, I want to challenge you to think about sharing what has impacted you so far. I know of many couples who might be struggling with building a biblical marriage, but they have still opened their homes and have profited from sharing this message with others who struggle too. If this teaching has affected your marriage to any degree at all, it could be time to start spreading the L&R word, how perhaps you could get instead of the DVDs of the conference, and invite several couples over to watch the first session. What often happens is that some of those you invite will want to keep going and watch the whole series. You don't have to be love and respect experts to facilitate a small group. Just be open and enthusiastic. Look at it as a win-win. No matter where you are in your own marriage, struggling or making real progress, going over these principles with other couples will be a huge benefit. People will respond and wonderful things can happen, as this letter describes. Because of our tremendous differences, our pastor asked us to facilitate your video series. God must have spoken to him because we were the least qualified to do this. In fact, I wouldn't have listened to me, but the change in us was so amazing that 80% of our church came. 3 of these couples were headed toward litigation. People are feeling love for the first time in their lives. We get letter after letter like this. Here's what one husband reported after hosting a group in his home. Well, it went over so well that our pastor got a copy of Love and Respect and did a sermon on it. He asked if my wife and I would be willing to be interviewed before the whole church in support of this program. We agreed and even had fun with it. Here's what has come out of it. We are being asked to facilitate this seminar on DVD for other small groups. We also are doing private showings for 2 couples whose marriages are in very bad shape. And other churches are asking us to host a DVD seminar for them. Now, it's nothing wrong with group marriage counseling, because you get to hear others indifferences in marriages, in their marriage, which can be your indifferences. You get to hear their challenges. You get to hear how they solve some things in their marriage. So, by all means, as I said, there's nothing wrong with counseling, but you gotta have communication between each other. there's nothing wrong with reading, but you have to come up with a solution, and you have to read with comprehension to know that what I'm reading either going to be helpful or it's either going to be detrimental to my marriage. So don't waste your time in self-help tools that isn't helpful to your solution. So please continue to look inside of you. Please continue to work on your marriage. I'm not going to say it's hard to look inside your spouse, because if you're married and you've been married for some years, for some centuries, you should understand your spouse. You shouldn't be 30 years, 20 years in your marriage and say, I don't know this woman. You have seen this woman show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have given this man a chance to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So either you forgot, or either you've been manipulated into feeling that everything I've done caused all this. It's not always you. It's not always them. So get to the root of your problem, to the root of your issues, and find a solution. Now let's go on and finish chapter 30 up. Do stories like these excite you, intimidate you, or maybe be a little bit of both? One way to explain today's key verse is that there are different kinds of gifts and abilities that can become different kinds of ministries that will have different results. Is God asking you to open your home to other couples, or even present this marital material in a Sunday school class? Or here's a thought. What about organizing a love and respect video conference for your entire church and other churches in your community? What do you need to do? Just step out in faith? What effect will you have? As the Apostle Paul put it, God works in different ways in our lives. I don't know what impact you will have, but as you step out, just trust God to work through you for His glory. Ready, set, go, God. Peep this. That's the end of chapter 30. We'll resume another time with chapter 31. We will finish this. We're going to get some awareness, some enlightenment of how to move in our marriage, how to present ourselves intelligently in a crisis that's in our marriage. Once again, this is the Nasty Pastor, Only Faith Ministries, with another full reading of chapter 30, the Love and Respect Experience. Please like, share, comment, and go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries. Once again, if I don't love you, who gonna love you? Please love yourself. It starts with you. It don't start with no one else but you. I'm out.